Some of this is a review of what you've read in the textbook and what we've read on discussions, but it's important to reinforce the communication for school leaders. As we noted in our last discussion questions, we talked about that a lot of critics do say communication in schools is just propaganda. That schools highlight all their achievements, all their successes, which are good things to do, but many critics say they need to know the whole story. To truly understand the community, you need to identify the leaders. And they may not just be elected leaders, but leaders in the community that are well respected, that what they say people believe and feel is true. You need to identify the different types of organizations and social agencies in the community and look at any other sociological characteristics and to keep these traits current because community demographics do change. Don't get bogged down in the process, but be aware of what are the customs and traditions in the town. Historical background, how did the town get its start? What was it like? What were the goals? What material and human resources are available? The age and population and characteristics. For example, a town with an average age of 39 would most likely have many children in that town that would be populating the schools. A town that had an average age of 59 may have a lot of voters in that town but do not use the schools. You need to be aware of the standards of living, the educational achievement of the population, and the political structure. Standards of living and health and recreation are all part of this. What, if any, social tensions are part of this community? Are there the haves, the have-nots? Are there people that feel that their voice isn't heard? Are there economic conditions that should be aware of for economic budget concerns, the political structure, and be sure you know of any previous community efforts. In the power structure, you can think of it as elite. The elite power structure represent the industrial, commercial, and financial interests in the community. Sometimes religion, politics, or race are part of this. Pluralistic and diffuse, several centers of power with many groups of power in a community. Or amorphous, it's usually in a rural setting, which is pretty much status quo. In the rural setting, people just do not want to change. They want to keep their community the way it is. Power structures spread across the community. You're concerned with the well-being of the community. You align themselves with leaders or members of public office. There's advisory committees have positive effect on power structure. It is very important for all members of the community to feel welcomed. The school leader must understand the community. What is it like? They should collect information of who are the leaders. What is the power structure? What are the long-term challenges in the community? The expectations of the citizens, the channels of public communication, and changes in community life. You need to know, is it an urban district, suburban district, or even a combination urban, suburban, or rural structures? Opinion research. How are we doing? Many of you mentioned this in your discussion questions, that you could have open forums in your school, open house for the community, conferences, advisory committee, or even hand out a survey to interview questionnaires, whether it be in person or on the internet. You need to be in agreement with the school laws, the philosophy of the institutions, and the traditions and opinions of the community. Purpose of the policy is important to tell why this is important. The goals and the strategies enhance the understanding of the policy. If you look on the internet for policies, curriculum, letters to parents, even if there is a crisis letter, communication, district publication, community resources, and school resources, go to the website below, www.oswegonewyork.org. See if you can find any of these points of interest in the public relations for this district.